One day, on a cold, stormy night, Falls logged onto Reddit on his secure browser on his computer in the office. He thought he knew everything about GTA Online. Turns out, he did not. Cursed with this newfound knowledge, he had to share it to all his followers on his channel. Get it? 'Cause follow? Okay. Anyone else just never withdraw the casino. I kind of use mine like a savings / 401k account since the daily fees never get subtracted from it. Some people like to use the casino as a sort of emergency fund since the chips don't get taxes deducted from it like your businesses and all the fees of GTA Online subtracted from it because they're chips in a casino. This is kind of sort of a tax fraud if you want to say, and I do this as well in GTA Online, kind of accidentally. I don't mean to do it, I just like seeing the big number whenever I walk inside the casino. I think right now I'm at 2 million chips. It's just a nice thing to look at. No longer affects the safe in your office, unfortunately, but some people like to do it. I do it as well. I promise you, Rockstar, I'm not trying to commit tax fraud. We shall move on. Liveries don't reflect in water. Another slight oversight by Rockstar, but to be fair, dynamic inconsistencies like these are pretty frequent if you're actively looking for them. Like for example, in car mirrors, weather and background details don't transfer very well, and it's all very minor stuff. It's stuff that no one would actually notice if they actually just went about their day, but if they take the time to notice, these things are there. And I still wonder how bored this person must have been to notice this. Like, hey, let me look at the water and see if the livery on my car reflects on it. Like, whatever the case was, this is what they chose to do. This is what they chose to look at. I am baffled by this, and now you are too. Below that post also reads, also, Sparrow Shadow melts snow. Land your Sparrow on snowy tarmac, immediately see the actual tarmac. Now, I didn't know about this specifically, but I can kind of explain why this is the case. Every vehicle has an invisible box on it. It essentially tells the game where the vehicle should be on the map. For example, cars, which I pointed out in various videos already, and helicopters are no different. What we think is the Sparrow melting the snow and revealing the tarmac is actually just its invisible box pushing the snow out of the way. The same thing happens on grass with vehicles, same philosophy. 11 years later and I'm still discovering features on the game. To quickly browse character actions without opening the interaction menu, hold both sticks and press R1 or L1. The OP stated that they have been playing the game since day one and didn't know this, and I too have been playing since day one and did not know this. This is actually quite useful for me as I use actions to take thumbnails sometimes, but for most people it can't be too useful, I assume. It's still crazy though that after 11 years there are little things like this in the game that I still don't know. It's actually kind of crazy. The piled up snow levitates after you crash into a bus stop. Now, I kind of forgot to get footage of this, but as you saw in the screenshot, this is exactly what it looks like. Snow is only around for a limited time every year, so this being something I've only learned now is actually kind of reasonable in my opinion. Once again, probably just one of those things where Rockstar didn't really bother to care about, although I'm not a programmer by any means necessary. The best you'll get out of me is an automatic door in Minecraft. But isn't it simple to just assign the snow to the object, and when the object is broken, just have the snow go away? Just assign it to two separate properties maybe? I don't know, but it isn't really important in any means, so we shall move on. Has anybody noticed this? Right outside this strawberry salvage yard, I happen to see some trash on the ground with a newspaper showing an article on Johnny Klebitz. Some commenters stated that this newspaper can also be seen around the Sandy Shores area, but I couldn't manage to find it, and I made videos on the whole Blaine County area, probably a few of them honestly. I should know about this newspaper, but I still don't. Still, this is a pretty cool tie-in, if only Johnny would have not been killed in the first mission we saw him in the first 5 minutes we saw him in, but unfortunately, that was Rockstar's doing. Now, these next posts are just a series of Rockstar support giving people money to basically just shut up and go away. This is absolutely hilarious because they almost always explain that the action the person did does not actually allow for a reimbursement in their system, but they still proceed to give them money anyways, basically just saying, here's money, leave me alone. I never knew that Rockstar support was this generous, but it's nice to see, I guess. I also assume that you can't do this too much as Rockstar support would catch on and basically flag your account, but still, some of these posts are absolutely ridiculous and hilarious. Please read for yourself. Random tip, can't climb? Aim your weapon and then try. Now, I've known this since I first saw this post a while back ago, and I've actually used it a good amount since then. It's not immediately useful, but next time you find yourself being unable to go up a hill, which is actually quite common if you do a lot of missions and drive around and whatnot, off-roading, using this trick is actually very useful. I don't know why the game does this though, so if you have an idea as to what is happening behind the scenes when doing this, Please let me know. I've been playing GTA 5 since it was released 11 years ago, and today I found out that there are 4 legs making out of the 2 legs opening up in the Dubachi logo. I've never even gave this logo a second thought, and I am pretty into cars in GTA Online. And now I wish I had continued to do just that, because the longer I stare at it, the more disturbed I become. Rockstar being Rockstar, I guess, and I will not subject you to look at this any longer. If you emo before the detonation, it skips the animation. Besides the rhyming, this one is actually quite useful because it gives you a small time skip, which is pretty useful overall in the heist. I will say that you can also use this while there are multiple people in the heist. Here I'm doing it with others and I do the animation here and it still skips it for me. Although for the other players it might give them the animation. I really don't know. I did it with randoms, so I wasn't able to confirm. Still, this is pretty useful, but especially for speedrunning, which I'm sure is the main use case here. And next time you do the Diamond Casino heist, which should be very soon, it's a very popular heist, try this out yourself. Although this is on an approach that not a lot of people do, but still, whenever you catch yourself doing it, I guess. Does anyone know what causes all the cars to disappear on the highway? Below that, read a response that actually makes a lot of sense that I never knew about. There are no servers running the simulation. It's all done on the systems of other players. NPC activity are generated by your own console in the area directly around you. When you enter an area already occupied by another player, their NPCs continue to be ran on their system and are synced to your system over the connection. This actually makes so much sense now that I think about it. You know how sometimes when you're in your friend's car and they're driving very fast and they hit a car on your screen, stop for like 5 seconds and then out of nowhere teleport you as if you never hit the car? Well, apparently that's because of this system. Because on their screen they were clear of the car at the moment, they never hit it, but your console didn't sync in time to register that car. Therefore, you hit the car on your screen, but it actually never happened. This was actually a very insightful tip, which is uncommon for Reddit, I must say. So my TISM went into overdrive today and I figured out what the maximum number of vehicles a single character can own. Total 669. That is a lot of vehicles, and the OP goes on to break down exactly what composes those 669 slots, and it is quite a lot of information to say the least. Although now I know that I can theoretically own 669 vehicles if I wanted to. I think right now I'm in the mid 400s, so you know, baby steps and whatnot. Maybe I'll get there someday, maybe not. I really don't know. When graphics get upgraded multiple times, it's fun to find little things like the lorem ipsum language sneaking in. Now, I recently featured a subway sign in one of my videos noting how it said lorem ipsum and how I found it funny. It just now occurred to me that, like the OP said, the game has been graphically updated multiple times, so the original GTA 5 or GTA Online, on that version, this sign probably wasn't even legible. Just a bunch of scribbles, so Rockstar found it fine to leave the default text there, but of course now we can all see it. And I'm sure more of these will just emerge over time, although we have had expanded and enhanced for a pretty long time, so most of them are probably out by now. Fun fact, NPCs treat the AirTug as an emergency vehicle with the lights on. This is about as weird as it is true, which is very. The tow truck also has lights, but NPCs do not yield to that, which is odd. And while this is true, it's very hard to actually see this in action because this thing is so damn slow. It's so hard to catch up to a car and to turn the lights on and pull them over. I mean, good luck. Also, good luck even finding this thing, as I had to go into director mode to find this one. In story mode, these are very hard to find in online, but in missions they usually spawn. You'll probably just find one of these randomly, but if you're trying to look for one, it always seems like they never spawn. Funny how only a few people know about this. Now I had to see this for myself, so I got a car, picked up a nice lady while I was half health, paid for a particular service, and by the end of it my health had increased by about 1/4, which is actually quite a surprisingly useful tool to use should you ever be on low health and don't have any snacks. You'll have to indulge in some other snacks, if you know what I mean. Alright, we'll go on to the next one. No better way to hit rank 100 by petting Chop. This is how I find out that petting Chop gives you XP. It's not much, but still. I'm surprised that there hasn't been an XP glitch with this by resetting Chop in some way, and then you could just infinitely pet him for XP. It would probably be a wildly inefficient method, but I guess if there is a will, there is some way? Would have been cool if this was an actual mechanic in the game. Rockstar casually showing that we could have gotten the laser breaking the sound barrier in-game is absolutely wild to me. I never even knew this sign was here, and I went looking around for it only to find out that it's only in your office if you choose the modern styling. I believe I had the traditional, so this sign never existed for me. Still, it's crazy that Rockstar put this in the game, probably as a little teaser, maybe something that was in the beta, but unfortunately we never got it in game. It would be cool if they added it to certain jets like the Raiju maybe. Probably the faster ones would be more reasonable to have this, but still very sad that aircraft enthusiasts couldn't get this. Bought the Patriot from a website a while back, came like this. I had to see this for myself once again. So here we have a Patriot, pretty standard. The left side looks alright, and the right side is indeed off a good amount. I am now perpetually annoyed by this, and now for the one time I drive the Patriot a year, I will forever notice this, and now you will too. So it wasn't possible being barefoot until 2015? Kind of strange that we couldn't be barefoot until next gen, considering flip-flops were in the game before that, which would already expose your toes. Probably a good thing though, because our feet would absolutely look horrendous. I can only imagine how bad they would have looked on 2013 technology, considering how terrible they look now on 2025 technology, or more recent technology. Probably would have just been a bunch of little triangles. And that is it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you did appreciate it, I would greatly consider if you left a like and subscribe for daily content. I'm joking, I don't do daily content at all, although I do try. It's just something that is a little bit hard for me in my predicament right now, but I promise the gap from this video to the next one will not be as dramatic. And thank you all for watching once again. Thank you to Byron and Anawack, our newest channel member, who just got a license plate on my Banshee GTS. If you'd like to be like either of those two and get a custom license plate on one of my cars in GTA Online, all you gotta do is become a channel member. And thank you all for watching. Have a great day or night or evening. I'll see you later, and goodbye. Hey, look, hey, look. You better subscribe, because if you do not, I might cry. You better subscribe, I ran up the bands in GTA 5. You better subscribe, because if you do not, you might cry. You better subscribe, because if you don't, I might die. You better subscribe, I'm about to go crazy on the beat. You better subscribe, hey, wait for the beat to drop. Ooh, you better subscribe, hey, you better subscribe, I'm out of breath. You better subscribe,